Good afternoon, CFM. This is Coach Matt with our Friday workout. Let's begin with a warm-up of 12 calories, your choice, row, bike, or ski, and then with a bench. I want you to get some lateral bench step overs. The bench step over is a combo drill for core, hip flexor, and glute, okay? So core and hip flexor as I bring my knee up higher than my hip if I can, and then reach out to the side, squeeze that side glute muscle, step over, and then match it, okay? So opposite side, and we're doing 8 steps per leg. When we do that, keep your bench out, and this is the thread the needle, right? So knees and shoulders same height as my hands, right? So I'm trying to kind of sit back like I'm in a child pose, but then the thread the needle part comes when I take the back of my hand and slide it along the ground and try to really rotate through. Like if I'm looking the same direction as I'm reaching, I'm trying to reach my cheek for the ground in that position, and then twist up, hand to the sky. And we're gonna do that on both sides, okay? Slow toe touch to overhead reach is just a nice gentle curving, flexing of the spine, and then reaching up overhead, getting up on your toes. Oh, and I think of the lymphatic system when we do these big, wide range of motion activities, but a lot of the purpose for this is pumping waste products out of the extremities back through the core and into our filtration organs in the center of the torso, right? And that is the purpose for a lot of those big, wide range of motion, the light activities that we do. That helps to process waste products out of our body, helps as a part of our recovery, but it also helps in warm-up of moving blood around from the core to the extremities to help get you ready for the workout. Last ones will be kips, right? And for the kips, we're thinking forward reverse or sliding the shoulder blades around the basket of the rib cage, right? So forward reverse, pay attention to where your head is relative to your arms, right? I want to make sure I'm not kipping from my hips, but I'm kipping from my shoulders, right? You can do this with your feet on the ground or with your feet off the ground. And then our final warm-up exercise will just be a set of warm-up squats. Whether you're using a barbell or a kettlebell or whatever your implement is for today, we're going to do a practice set. So I would do the first set with an empty bar. On the squats, we're trying to reach for our hips below the top of the knee and then squeezing and standing tall at the lockout position. I always make concessions on the squats for the depth, depending on what that does with between the flexibility of your ankles and your hips. Pain in the hips or the back, right? That can be good reasons why to limit the depth of the squat. But at least in the warm-up, I would like for you to use the warm-up reps to really try to stretch that bottom position out, even if you don't get this low when you're doing your actual loaded squats. Like I don't go this low when I'm doing my, sets of 3 at 90%. I just don't go that far down. I'll go to a controlled position, but I don't want to go to an extreme position at the bottom of the squat when I'm using those high percentages. Next, we'll get into our workout. And so this will be where we're doing our 5 sets of 3 back squats, start around 80, move up to about 90. All these sets should be relatively tough. Maybe the first 2 sets aren't quite as hard, but sets number 3, 4, and 5 should be very tough to complete. So the gap between the sets in terms of weight should not be that much. And we're gonna do a Russian twist superset in between each set of squats. This isn't like super high intensity core exercise, but you'll get some good recruitment of the obliques as well as our lower abdominals if you get your feet off the floor. So I've got a ball here. I'm just gonna touch it on either side of my hips. But really what I wanna reach for is my opposite elbow and thigh, right? Should get in contact or close to one another. And that's how I know that I'm reaching and rotating enough on that exercise, okay? That's our strength work. Not on the clock, but think about probably 20-ish minutes to get all that stuff done. And then we're gonna do a 5-round, 4-time workout that will have a slam ball and a barbell involved on it. So we use the bar for our squats, and when we get to the workout, we're gonna do power cleans. As always, with everything else, we can do power cleans with a pair of dumbbells, we can do it with a medicine ball, we can do it with kettlebells. For today, we're using a barbell, unless that front rack position really bothers your wrists or your shoulders or your hands or anything like that, or your elbows. And then we can do like a pair of dumbbells, which is totally fine. But the way this will work is 3, 2, 1, go. We're gonna get 5 rounds through using excellent technique as fast as you can. So both those things happening at the same time, good technique and high intensity. That's how you get the best results from your physical training, right? So we'll start with slam ball. So 16 reps of a slam ball. I want this to be relatively quick cycling. So think like to get 16 reps, it should be 35 to 45 seconds, right, at the top end. And we're picking a weight that does not force you to ever have to stop the movement unless your heart rate and your respiratory rate are just like, I'm overpowered, my heart rate's at 180, I need to take a break. You should not hit muscle failure on the slam balls, and the limiting factor on this workout should be your cardio, right? So with good posture, I'm going all the way down, grabbing the ball, overhead, straight arms, slam and catch, try to catch on the bounce. The way to catch on the bounce is don't release the ball until your fingers are at about shin height. Right? If I release the ball at my knees, it's really hard to get down fast enough to catch it on the bounce. If I release it lower, then I can catch it on the bounce. Okay, next movement, 16 reps of that. Next movement is 12, and it's power cleans at a moderate weight. So 115, 85. This should be somewhere in like the half your max power clean range, right? So from the shins with the weights of the normal size on the end of the bar, hip extension, pull and catch at your shoulders, and then stand to full extension, recover the feet, right? That's our power clean. If you're, say, using an empty barbell, or if you're using a barbell and then just the metal plates on the end, you can do the hang power clean where we just go to the top of the knees, right? That is totally fine. If you're using the regular bumper plates, then tap the ground with them every single time. All right, and then our final exercise is toes to bar, or whatever your level of toes to bar progression is. So if you can do the full range of motion toes to bar with the good kipping rhythm, right, like so, then that's your movement. If you need to go just like a foot away from the bar because you can't quite hit the bar while maintaining the rhythm, that's fine too. The line that I draw on this one is like, if you can't get your knees above parallel using the kipping rhythm, then we go to, or if the kipping or the shoulders or the grip or anything else is causing you a bad pain, then we'll go to our lying leg raise, right, where I'm arms extended, grabbing the post of the rig, and then raising my feet up and trying to touch some J-hook that's relatively challenging reach for me up there, okay? And we're doing 5 rounds of that sequence for time, with the goal time being in that 10 to 15 minute block, right? So that's approximately what I would like the rounds to look like. The movements should be weighted and resistance level selected so that it is a cardiorespiratory workout, right? I don't want you to have your power cleans so heavy that you have to stop and really like shake your arms out and get really reset. I want it to be light enough that you can cycle a barbell relatively quickly, okay? That's our format for today. Hope you guys have a great one. I'll see you for a fun workout on Saturday.